I don't know, dude. You seem like you have a lot going on in a good direction right now.
Thank you.
Switch front crook shoves. You're on your board. You look comfy.
I appreciate
the show's
that.
doing well. Come on, dog. Your afterlife looks nice, man.
No, it's true. And you know what? We should talk about that though. We should talk about life after skating, because I think you're at that point right now, right? I mean, you've kind of been there for a little bit as well. And when did that point in time come? And were you okay with it? Or did it take some adjustment? Or did, as a skater, it's hard.
Oh, it's brutal. What's funny is it started pretty much the last time I was on 9 Club.
Wait a minute. That was like 2 years ago, right?
No, that was like longer than that.
3 years ago.
3.5 years ago. Yeah, 3.5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty much the start of it. Remember, I went on to 9 Club pretty much right when I got kicked off DC. Oh. It was, I think, right when I started walking again. I fresh off of crutches, right?
Didn't you have a hip thing?
Oh, yeah.
I had the hip thing.
Yeah.
I think Kelly had the hip.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
Yeah. Huh. So that was pretty much when it started. I just didn't totally know. I don't know if I fully accepted it then.
Gotcha.
Wasn't long after though that was it for me.
It finally set in, right?
Yeah, but no, dude, it was it was awful. Truthfully, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Walking away from something that you don't want to walk away from. And then kind of having to find your new thing. And man, that wasn't easy. Not at all.
But here's the thing though, is you had things going on already though. It wasn't like you just got dumped by DC and now you're just kind of like, oh my God, I have a family. What do I do? You already had, had St. Archer, Villager. You had a lot of things going on. So maybe financially you weren't there, but the mental part of it, right, was like the hardest part.
Yeah. So basically what I thought was if I had everything in order prior to my career ending, then the transition would be smooth.
Right.
What I didn't know is emotionally how tough it was going to be. And it sounds so weird saying that, but like, dude, when you're a skater, right, that's who we are. We identify as skater, right? Mm-hmm. Then when you become pro, all of a sudden I'm known as Mikey Taylor, the pro skateboarder. Everything I do, I'm a pro skateboarder, right? When that ended, it was the identity that was tough for me. Like, who am I? What am I supposed to do on this earth? What is my purpose? And when that went away, it didn't matter that I had the other things. I lost the happiness of it,
Sure.
Wow.
That was the tough part for me.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. Because I think when we're all nearing the end, we know it's coming, right? It's not some secret. It's half and half, right, Raj? Some people, they
might blindside you.
They get blindsided, right? But you had a little bit of time and, you could adjust. But I know what you're saying about that identity, because I'm sure even when somebody says, what do you do? And you're like, I'm oh, wait, I'm not. Well, I am a skateboarder, but I don't do it anymore.
100%. And I will say this, my transition was probably as smooth as it possibly could have been.
Oh, man.
It's like my sponsors dropped me. I didn't have to figure out, I didn't have to call somebody and get a job the next day. I didn't go into survival in that sense, which I recognize huge blessing, right? With all of that, though, it was still brutal for me. So, for the guys who are blindsided by it, and I think it happens because even though we know it's going to end, we don't even want to think about that when we're 18, 19, 22, 23, because it sounds awful.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And a lot of times we don't want to prepare for the things that suck. We just, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And even though I wasn't in that position, it was still awful. So for the guys that are truly blindsided by it, my hats off to you. That sounds awful.
Totally. Yeah. And even when you were just saying, like, you kind of, the transition was that, like, you already had things going on, which is smart, because I think a lot of skaters don't, they're not prepared.
Dude, they're not. No, totally not.
There's two parts of it, right? There's being prepared. And I think we assume like financially is the being prepared, right? It's the purpose. Without purpose, it's hard to find any type of motivation throughout the day, right? It's hard to even know if what you're doing is the right thing. And prior to this, I was like, dude, my purpose is I'm a skater. Like, this is what I do. I go film these video parts. My purpose is to create whatever.
Sure.
And then when that went away, it's like, I didn't even know where I was going, man. It's like up became down. And that was the tough part. It's like, What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do to feel joy? What am I supposed to do to even know I'm doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, listen, you're a skater. I mean, when did you start skating? 6 years old, 10 years old?
No, I was 12, late 12.
Okay.
12.
But still, that's most of your life.
To 12 to 35, I skated every single day of my life. And dude, Kelly knows. Kelly, you knew me since I was young. We skated a bunch, Chris. It's like, dude, I skated all the time. That's all I wanted to do. So it's like, when you're not able to do that anymore, it's like, what the hell am I? What guys? What am I supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was surprised you never really. I mean, you do own a skateboard brand, but I was surprised you never like worked in the industry. Like, you didn't want to ever do that, working for DC or stuff like that. Just over it.
This is at least what I thought, and I imagine a lot of pro skateboarders feel this way. We get so used to doing things our way, right? I want to film this trick. I'm going to call the filmer. I'm going to call the photographer. I'm going to plan everything out. I'm going to go do it. I want this song to my video part. Like everything about what we do is our vision. And then we have people come help us create it. Right. Mm-hmm. Once you experience that, it makes it hard to just go get in line and listen to what the person tells you and then go do. Right. It's like you go from visionary to employee. And I'm not saying anything negative about employee. It's just, I feel like skaters have this built-in like entrepreneurial side.
Totally.
So for me, it was like, okay, if I'm used to this and enjoy this, I don't think I'm going to adapt well working for a company, moving into corporate America, which is a completely different pace than what we're used to.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, skaters. I think every skater never wants to have a 9 to 5. They don't want to sit at a desk. Like 100% no.
And they want to work at their pace.
Yeah,
that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
100%. I think like with skating too, it's like, you notice, man, like we don't just skate it, from 3 to 7 every day. It's like we wake up, we do our thing. There's a moment we're like, let's get it done. And then we chill and then we get sparked again. Mm-hmm. That kind of schedule does not work on a 9 to 5.
Right. Well, I think it's about that time,
Like,
I feel like doing some work.
Yeah. To that question too, Kelly, it's like, I was able to start my first business while I was still a pro skateboarder. And so there was this, I don't know if it was passion, but I really enjoyed it. Like I loved how business worked. I loved trying to take what you want to build and then finding people to help you build it. I just enjoyed that process. So I think I just felt like that was my natural evolution as opposed to, calling DC and saying, hey guys, can I, become part of the sales team or whatever.
Well, that's the thing too, is like you've done investments in certain brands and everything, but you've been hands-on.
Yeah.
You haven't been the guy.
Eventually. I started off hands off. I started off passive.
You did?
Things. Yeah. Like on the investing side, like,
I thought you were really hands-on with St. Archer, no?
St. Archer. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I was talking about more like on the real estate side. So St. Archer, I was active. I was a founder with Paul and Josh.
Right.
But my investing started almost 10 years before St. Archer. So on that side, I was investing in storage units and apartment buildings, but I was passive. I had no active role in it. So I started off passive. St. Archer was really the first active role.
And I'm sure you learned a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, when you're thrown into it, you're forced to. Right?
Hops.
It's like how much did you guys learn when you did the podcast?
Oh my God, I'm still learning every day.
That's right.
Every day.
That's right.
That's right. You think you know everything, and then something else pops up, and you learn something. That's right. It's crazy. It's great. And then we're talking about podcast and YouTube. It's not like
And
then fun.
No, but it's like
go ahead. Sorry, no.
No, go.
No, you please.
I was gonna say it's like even with skating, it's like we don't learn from watching skate videos. We learn from going out and trying it, right? And even for however long all of us skated for, was there ever a point where you felt like you had mastered it? No. The same thing works for anything you're going to do. If there's a podcast, build a business, you're going to learn from actually doing, and then you're going to constantly be learning. Right?
Oh, for sure.
The cool thing is like for skating, like I feel like we're so comfortable in that kind of routine of I'm never going to master it, but I'm going to constantly strive towards getting better. Mm-hmm. You apply that to anything, you're going to do great. I think just with skaters, we have a hard time finding the next thing that we're willing to put the effort into.
True.
Well, a lot of the times we're not looking. We're not looking for the next thing.
That's a good
Chris,
point. That's a good point.
you had a different approach to skateboarding than all other people. You were kind of just.
What do you mean?
He was passive.
No, Chris was
That's
just.
true.
I could tell that Chris was kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just do what I want to do today, because you had like a little routine.
I'll jump in the van.
Yeah.
And why I appreciated Mikey skating so much. I loved your skating just in general, but your work ethic was the first time I seen it. Was you and Paul's work ethic was so different. Like coming into it, I was like, these guys actually go like. They have plans to get filmers to go do their thing. Like I was just like, oh, I'm just out here skating. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Like if I get a trick, cool.
Yeah,
If the filmer's here, cool.
Because me and Chris were on the same schedule. I feel like we're just like la ti da, and you guys were like, oh no, we're gonna go out. We're gonna get clips, dude.
Right.
You know.
So you know what I think that's because for you and Chris, you guys are just naturally talented.
No, come on, dude.
No,
Kelly's not naturally talented.
No, but I saw you. The thing was though, is that I saw you work so hard for the tricks though.
It's because I grew up having to try to compete with Paul.
Yeah.
It's like if I didn't work my ass off, I had no shot here. You know?